What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the 2023 Hyundai IONIQ 5. This one is a limited all-wheel drive, finished off in Atlas white, and towards the end of the video when we test drive this electric crossover, we're going to flip the cameras to me, unveil the MSRP, and see if I think it's worth the money. Powering the 2023 Hyundai IONIQ 5 is a 77.4 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery. It features a single-speed reduction gear transmission and a dual-motor 8-track all-wheel drive system. It cranks out 320 horsepower with 446 pound-feet of torque and can do 256 miles on one charge. Curb weight is around 4,600 pounds with towing capacity at 2,300 pounds. Standard 240-volt charging is going to take 7 hours to do 10% to 100%. And then if you have the 800-volt system, you're looking at 10% to 80% in just 18 minutes. And then now moving on to the styling with the IONIQ 5. It is a super retro looking yet modern electric crossover. The lighting up front is a really cool feature. Hard to tell in the sun, but you can see this entire silver piece has all these LED lights within it. And then for the headlights themselves, has a really cool square shaped design for the different headlights. Really cool how everything is finished off in that same kind of black plastic as if it's all one beam. You can see how we have a forward-facing camera up front with your Hyundai badge, and then a very sharp and flat area for body color portions on the front bumper. We get silver trim all down below with parking sensors, a little bit more of that black trim, and it really comes together to be a unique looking vehicle. I like how the hood piece has a super sharp line on the farthest side going towards the windshield. And you can see just how flat the top of the hood is. And then as we make our way to the side profile, you can see that silver trim make its way around the entire wheel arch, has a really cool spiraling design. The wheels even match with a unique design throughout them. They're finished in gloss black with machined silver, and they are 20-inch diameter. You can see a super sharp line cutting through the entire side profile, and we also get another one down below with more of this silver and black trim in the lower area. We get a set of folding power mirrors with an LED turn signal on the side and a side view camera, and I love the flush mounted door handles. You can see how they're popped out right now. When you lock and unlock the vehicle, they'll get nice and flush, and when you just walk up to the car, they're going to automatically open up, or if you just hit the unlock button. And then up on top of the roof, we have the Vision roof, which is a solid piece of glass giving you that panoramic design. You can see the integrated spoiler in back with the third brake light up above that with more gloss black trim all around. And then on the side we have the area right here that you can open up, and this is where the charge port is located. There's even LED lights all in it to let you know the charge, and you can just tap that button to close it up. In back we have more of the LED taillights that really match those headlights with that square shape, and you can see all the different squares kind of like it's pixelated. You can see IONIQ 5 is written out in white with a Hyundai badge above that, and it really matches that front end with this squared off kind of retro and modern look. You can see different reflectors in the farthest side with more parking sensors, more of that silver as well as black trim, and then we get the H-Track logo on the far right side. Certainly a unique looking crossover, and I love all these sharp lines. So there's a good look at the exterior with the IONIQ 5 along with some of the specifications. On the key fob we get a button to open the liftgate, of course a charge port, and we have the remote start with the smart park where you can drive the car forwards and backwards with just the key fob. From here, just walking up to the car when it's locked, door handles pop out. We can check out this interior. This particular spec gets a nice black interior with the H-Tech seating surfaces. If we take a look at the door panel finished off in the black color, nice material, you can see our release handle in a cool shape. Lock and unlock, window controls and mirror controls, and then this whole piece is actually a grab handle and has some good padding. We have a very soft material down here with these cool squares to match the headlights. Then we get memory seating, a speaker, as well as some storage. Inside, these seats have all sorts of different controls on the left side for all the power adjustments, and you're going to notice there's a real leg rest up front. If you just take this button, it's going to automatically go forwards. And then with the seat base in its relaxed position, you can see just how nice everything is designed. This entire seat is actually supposed to be a lounge chair when needed. And when you pair that with the panoramic roof, it gives you a very cool view and a great place to relax while you're waiting for it to charge. The materials themselves, the black material is really cool. You get more of these squares all throughout it. Perforated material in the center with smooth material all around the sides. And I like the white piping. We also get a black 2-spoke steering wheel with some nice texture right in the center. And then now inside, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. The two 12.3-inch screens are going to turn on. In the center, your gauge cluster, you can see your speedometer on the far right side, range on the right, then a few things of information all throughout the lower side. Where it says level 1, that is the regenerative braking. Then you can scroll through the center of the screen using the icon on the far right side. We have this pages icon up and down. So if I go ahead right now, you have navigation, you have information that it can also display, like your torque delivery. Then we have a few different things for safety settings. We also have all the trip information as well. And then if we take a look at the steering wheel now, we get all the cruise control settings on the right with your lane keeping and distance pacing, and then more information on the left for different audio settings. And if you tap this icon, it's going to configure from the normal mode into sport. It gets a little bit more aggressive. Then we have the eco mode as well. On the right side, you can see the stock for the windshield wipers. Then your gear selector is down below that. And then on the far left side, you can see your turn signal stocks. We do have what appear to be paddle shifters. When you adjust the left one or the right one, this is for your regenerative braking. And then on the far left side of the steering wheel, you can see your auto hold and electronic parking brake, traction control, as well as the lift gate, then a nice air vent. There's some soft material right here, heads-up display system, then all of this black material running across the dashboard. Really cool design right here for the air vents. And then moving to the center screen, you can see your time, your battery indication, weather, a few things like that. Of course, we're going to get navigation, your warmer, climate settings as well will pop up. When you scroll through here, you can kind of get a good look at how everything is laid out. Very nicely animated as well. Super easy to configure everything, adjust your temperatures, air conditioning and heat. Then your home icon. You can continue scrolling over to see a few more items within the vehicle. And if I go ahead and put my foot on the brake and pull this backwards, we're going to go into reverse. You get your backup camera that pops up as well as a top-down view. If you toggle this, you can go into a few different designs for what you want to see. Then we even get the 360 camera. This is super helpful. You can see everything around the car, even going up and down, zooming in and out. And then you can go into forward, and now we can see that front view camera. Guidelines will change up a little bit, and you get even more views. Then we'll just tap the P button and go back into park. Underneath the screen, you can see your climate control vents with more of this material, and then all the different climate controls themselves are located down here with physical buttons. We have the volume on off, shortcuts for map, navigation, and media controls, and you can also see the tuning icon and shortcut for cameras. You can see the dual zone temperature is all touchscreen. Really cool design. Different zones as well, turning it on and off, fan speed, and then your different zones in the center. And then down below that, we have all sorts of storage space. You get a USB and a 12 volt, and I like how there's nothing in the center, so you have a lot of legroom up here. Feels very open. We have two cup holders in the center as well, and then you're gonna see two USB ports as well as the charger. Down below that, we have our wireless phone charging and a lot of storage space all throughout the center console. Really good armrest. You can press this button and open it up, and we have a pretty good amount of storage space in here. Taking a look at the glove box now, opening this up. Pretty large bucket as you would expect. And this car does feature ambient lighting. You can see the purple around the speaker, and then it's on the back side of those grab handles. Pretty cool looking interior overall. It's very simple in here, has a futuristic retro vibe. And then another look at the seats. I really love how they come together. Up on top, we get that huge sunshade for the panoramic roof, and you can just tap this once. It's going to automatically open up from the center and give you all sorts of light let into the interior. The glass is fixed, so it stays just like that. Then we have a nice dome light, and then up in front, you can see our mirror with garage door buttons. And then moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, the door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with the same black material, and we even get the addition to the sunshades. In back, you can see the same material all throughout the centers. Does not give you those same squares though, but we get the nice perforations in the center. You can also seat 3 people back here. And then if I grab this piece and pull it down, we have a nice armrest and 2 cup holders. There are storage nets behind the seats, and you get a cool fabric material. And then in the center, we get more storage as well as 2 USB ports. We also have a recline lever on the back, and if you go ahead and pull this up, the whole seat is gonna fold down nice and flat. So then sitting now in the back of the IONIQ 5, this is a pretty roomy vehicle. I'm 5'11", and I have really good headroom, and even with the driver's seat at my height, I have great knee room and foot room. I love this roof. It is just so open and airy feeling inside the back here. Armrest is really good. Of course, the sunshades are nice. Massive window. Armrest in the center does a pretty good job. And I also like how we do have climate control vents. They're located up on these pillars. So overall, this is a pretty roomy interior. Now the back seats, I had them all the way reclined. I would only ever do them there. It's nice and comfortable like that. And you even get grab handles and dome lights up on top. To move on to storage space, I can hold down the button on the key fob, automatically open up the rear liftgate. We also do get a button back here as well. And then you can see the nice privacy cover up on top. We go ahead and get this out of the way. We have quite a lot of storage space. It's nice and squared off. Very easy, can load items in here. If I pull this up, we get some hidden storage space back here just a little bit, and then you even get your plug back here as well. From here, you can move this cover and get it out of the way to get a little bit better space. And then after manually folding down the rear seats, you can see just how much more storage space the IONIQ 5 is gonna offer. They fold down nearly flat, really giving you a ton of cargo area. The rear end does slope down quite a bit, so maybe not the biggest items. Then we still have plenty of space up in front. All right, so we are setting off now in the IONIQ 5 in sport mode. So that torque, it gets up to speed. It's a pretty darn peppy electric car, especially in sport mode. I like just how you give it some gas and it moves. Now, if we go ahead and tone it down into eco mode, I will say it is significantly slower to drive. Like, I'm giving it half throttle right now and we're just barely moving. So if you are gonna be getting into traffic real quickly just at least pop it into sport or at least normal. Eco mode is very conservative if you're really trying to just, of course, save the power. Very slow to drive that way. Even full throttle, it doesn't really accelerate. So normal driving, you have a really good windshield, really easy to see out of. All the mirrors are really nice as well. It's just a nice open feeling car. Not really crazy blind spots over your right and left shoulder. Really good visibility over your left. And it seems like a nicely put together car. Even going 45, 50. You know, there's not too much road noise or anything. Soft suspension to where it feels just nice and comfortable. There is some wind noise, I noticed that. Hopefully it comes off on camera. But at least above like 60, there's just a little bit of wind noise, I would say. So not the worst, but you can definitely feel it kind of on a windy day. You can hear it a little bit. The fit and finish is also pretty nice. It just feels like a nice, cool place to be. You know, these electric cars are always a little on the funky side. However, this one seems like it's nicely put together and the materials all feel cool. They look cool. You know, it seems like a pretty neat design. The interior use of space is fantastic. There's so much space in here. It feels roomy and comfortable and open. Honestly, it's a car you can just normally comfortably drive. And I like with the drive modes, you're gonna notice the depiction in the center, it's more rear wheel drive bias in the eco mode, gives you a little bit more front wheel drive in normal, and then sport mode seems to do a good 50-50 from front to back, to where you're really using all the power to all the wheels to just give you that acceleration. So I like how they've just designed the powertrain. I think it just drives really nice and it gives you the power when you want it, and then the the eco-friendly conservative driving mode when you want to conserve your battery a little bit better. Overall, it feels like a pretty solid electric car. I've always liked the Kia version, and now the Hyundai one is also pretty nice. Going over train tracks, the car doesn't rattle and shake around. It feels like it's pretty well built. And then you just get a slight hum from the system. In sport mode, you get a little bit more of those electronic noises, which kind of make it pretty cool. But for normal driving, honestly, this seems like just a nice overall electric car you really can't go wrong with. You got the space, you got the performance, and it's just kind of a cool place to be. All right, so flipping the camera to me, this vehicle is $58,000. There's really no options on it, aside from like the carpeted floor mats and another basic option for a couple $100. So 58 grand, limited all-wheel drive, this is kind of what it comes with. No crazy packages or anything like that. Do I think it is worth $58,000? Well, I guess it depends. If you're in the market for an electric car, I guess a cheaper Tesla is going to be a lot less than that. However, it's just going to be a car. I feel like this is pretty well priced if you look at maybe a Tesla Model Y, the Volkswagen ID4 or whatever that one's called. So I feel like it's kind of priced with what you would expect a crossover of this size to be. It's a pretty roomy vehicle. This isn't just like some compact little car. I know there is a smaller electric car that Hyundai makes, so this is kind of a good sized vehicle. And it feels well done, I would say. I really enjoyed when we had the Kia versions of this. I think they were pretty nice. torn between which one I like the looks better. This is very retro and yet futuristic, so this is pretty unique. Not everyone's gonna like this styling. Definitely very, very different looking, but it's a good sized vehicle to where honestly you can fit stuff in here, people can be comfortable, you can genuinely use this as a normal car. And I like how there's a lot of familiarity to this interior. While it's a little on the unique side on the interior, the navigation screen, the center screen is all what you're going to see in any Hyundai, so it's just kind of normal. The climate controls being fixed down here as well as the screen, it makes it easy to use. So it's a car honestly anybody can get into and just use and not feel like they're in some spaceship that they have no clue how to drive. So I like that aspect with it. I feel like the drivetrain is fantastic. I mean, it's got plenty of torque, plenty of power, and you can even tow with it, which would probably destroy your battery pretty quickly. Not many people really tow with EVs. However, it's a pretty solid daily driver commuter type of vehicle. I don't feel like the range is all too good. Right now, we have 200 miles of range left at 88%. So it seems like realistically, you're not going to get 250 miles on a range unless you were just very, very conservative with it. I feel like other EVs are a little bit better on the range, so that could probably be the only downfall. And with the options with the Limited, especially with the seat, it's pretty cool. It's almost a way that Hyundai is making it to where when you're waiting for these things to get charged up, you're not as annoyed with it. For me, I'm used to gas vehicles. A couple minutes, I'm in and out of the gas station. To actually wait 20 minutes or so seems kind of crazy. Not the worst though, at least. But to have this leg rest and the way this seat works is very cool, and it genuinely feels like you're in a recliner. It's not just reclining your seat a little bit, it genuinely completely changes the style of the seat by doing what it does. So very cool option to have. I don't think I've seen that elsewhere, and that's something you're going to see on like an expensive Mercedes or something, having a chair that turns into a lounge chair. So that's a cool option with this vehicle, and that's kind of just a standard feature. It has that. I'd say the only weird things about it are the design. It is very out there, very different, very unique. Like I said, not everyone's taste for sure, but I think it kind of has that futuristic vibe with the way the lights work. All of those things are kind of cool. And the power, we're going to sport mode one more time. And if you hold the drive mode down, it does have a snow mode. So with the all-wheel drive system, it's really nice to have that. I mean, it gets up to 70 really quickly. It's not the fastest EV out there. I believe Hyundai's version with the new GT line, or the GT actual one coming out, that's definitely gonna be a little bit more peppy. But this one is properly powerful if you need to get up and go. That was 20 miles an hour increase right there. I mean, this thing definitely moves, so it's pretty cool to see. So I think that is it then for the 2023 IONIQ 5. Nice car to drive around, honestly. It just seems like a comfortable place to be. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.